Deane, thank you for joining us. First, want to get your reaction to 3M's pivot into hydrogen, clean energy. Is it too late? There's certainly a number of other companies who are trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Seema. No surprise that 3M's making this announcement. There's a big event this week in New York, Climate Week, and 3M has got a headline out there talking about some of their initiatives in green hydrogen. But these are really early stage R&D, venture capital arm part of 3M. It's not what we would consider to be needle moving at all for the company, but it's certainly a sign of the times. We see a number of companies we cover that have similar green initiatives going on right now.
Let's pivot to GE. The warning from the CFO last week saying that the supply chain issues are continuing and that they see their free cash flow under pressure. That sort of weighed on the broader industrial sector. I'm curious if GE is the first shoe to drop, or you think other industrials could come out with a similar warning in future weeks.
Yeah, so first of all, every industrial company is talking about supply chain pressures. This has been with us for more than a year. Maybe at the margin, it's getting a little bit better, but you are seeing it pressure all of these companies, and it is showing up in working capital drags, and as a result, lower free cash flow. So this feels far less specific to GE and much more of the sector and the operating macro that everyone's working in right now. But you do bring up an important point. We're at the threshold of third quarter earnings, and this will be the next opportunity here from companies as to how they're holding up in the macro. And so far, based upon our conference last week, the demand still remains resilient.
You know, Deane, you cautioned, going back to 3M, that the results or this report is a very early stage indicator and that it's not a needle mover in terms of 3M stock. But I do wonder this. There are a lot of companies out there, a lot of large industrials, the 3Ms of the world and many others that have very active industrial R&D arms. How do you rank 3M in that whole cluster? Are they ahead of competitors? Are they right there with a group of competitors? How do you rank them against other companies that may be sniffing around the same innovations?
Yeah, Tyler, that's a really important point. It's hard for us to be able to identify who's being really successful in R&D. You can look at it as a percent of revenue. So 3M, it's anywhere between 5.5% and 6% of R&D to revenues. Mm-hmm. It's among the top decile. We also look at new product vitality. How is the percent of new products introduced in the last 3 years, a percent of revenues? And 3M has been essentially a machine in being able to crank out new products. So, they typically get really high grades in terms of their R&D initiatives. But, I just want to highlight also Honeywell. Mm-hmm. Honeywell right now, half of every R&D dollar being spent is geared towards sustainability initiatives, sustainability technologies in some way. So it's really, it's opportunistic, but, that's where the expected growth is.
That was an interesting answer, Deane. Thank you.
XLI down 1.8% right now. So it's down a bit more than the broader market. Deane, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.